Welcome to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. When you hear the word chronically, do you automatically associate it with chronic disease? I know we all do. It's been so programmed right into us. But what if we flip it on its head? Let's discover how we can create chronic health in our bodies, in our minds, our finances, our relationships, and in our lives. Let's jump right on in. I'm Andy, and joining me is my life partner, Min Wong.
So I think one thing that I feel like these days, not in the old days, that's really hindering our health these days is a term that I heard recently, and it's called greenwashing. And if you haven't heard of the term, I just recently know what it is. It's basically how a lot of the food products, skincare, and other products, they are tricking consumers into thinking that what they're buying is good for them. It makes them feel good. When in reality, by using that product, they are really putting their health on the line.
Yeah, I really agree. And, when we go grocery shopping and, I'm always looking for labels that showing greenwashing and they're going at next level, man. It's like they're labeling fruit as gluten-free. When has fruit never been gluten-free? It's like, dude, right? Like that doesn't even make sense. Gluten-free fruit, right? And and of course, we talk about, our nighttime cereal, just a couple episodes about, how cereal can make you sleep better. And they're giving all these little herbs and lavender, and none of that's real, right? But you hear lavender, you hear, melatonin, but it's all just on the labels, but it's not actually part of the ingredients. And the things that you see when you see like all natural, wild crafted, organic even, right? Or made with 100% of something, right? A lot of these times, this is just all marketing. You have to think about what are they really trying to hide in the ingredients to make you buy the products.
Yeah, I mean, these products, they can be very deceiving. The other day, we saw pomegranate juice that says made with 100% juice, and the 100% real juice. And you would think that means 100% real pomegranate juice, but no, that's not what it is. If you look into it, that bottle has more apple juice than pomegranate juice. So they're not exactly lying. It's still juice. It's just not 100% pomegranate juice. The goal is they're really trying to deceive you. They just want to make you feel like, oh my God, I have to buy this to make my family healthier. But in reality, it's just marketing.
The only time 100% juice is when you juice it yourself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, these product labels, they're just sneaky ways to make you believe that you're getting a safer, smarter choice, when in reality, they're really no better than all the other shelves on, all the other products on the shelf or in the aisles. And in some cases, they're probably actually worse for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, another way to look at greenwashing is that the companies that are selling these products to you, they are really trying to spin the positive really loudly to persuade you and distract you from looking actually into the actual ingredient labels. You think that in the front it says whatever it is, and in the back it actually says something else. And they spend billions of dollars spinning the positive. Often, a lot of times, you end up paying a premium on a product that is hurting your health. You're paying for their marketing. You're paying for them to spin the positive to you so that you'll buy it.
Of course, just like for instance, we're always trying to be smarter at looking at labels, and mayonnaise in general is not very healthy. It tastes yummy, right? And now you're starting to see like olive oil mayonnaise, and you say, "Wow, this got to be a healthy alternative." You turn it around, and then you see the ingredients: canola oil, soybean oil. Well, what about the olive oil? Well, technically, they're not lying. There's some olive oil in there, but it's not all olive oil mayonnaise. And canola oil and soybean oil is just not the type of oils you want to get in your body. And what about all butter cakes, right?
Pound cakes?
Those pound cakes, they're never made with all butter. They're always filled with soybean oil and all these other monosaccharides, diglycerides, and all this other stuff. And what's one that we like to have dipping with? Which one do you like dips?
I like honey mustard.
Exactly. And honey mustard is like, you think that it's all healthy honey, but it's always sweetened with sugar. They put a little bit of honey in there, but it's all sugar. And it's just getting really, really hard to track what is healthy, what isn't healthy with all the greenwashing nowadays.
They're really playing with psychology.
Mhm.
And, I'm not going to lie, we've eaten all this bad stuff for over the years. We are now 53, and it's only really the last 5 to 6 years that we try slowly learning to transition from processed foods to real foods. And it really wasn't until we moved to Texas that we're actually able to find time and start making a lot of our own personal care products. We make a lot of these simple foods that we do, that we eat, and even the cleaning products. Some of them we make ourselves. But we have eaten the bad stuff all our lives for probably like 45 out of 53 years that we've existed. I'm sure those bad stuff still here.
To be exact, we're still 52 up until today. We'll be turning 53 tomorrow. But, talking about what Minna's talking about, there's still hope. You can make a change, just like we did, right? Just really learn to be more, vigilant. God, there's much English coming in. To be more vigilant with the products. It's always better to eat real food instead of anything that comes out of a can, a box, a bag, or really however they're packaged, right? You want to be picking it fresh to put into a bag yourself. The fresher, the better. And what really happens, like Minna says, is when you abuse your body of all this bad, unhealthy food, it really changes the way your body can repair itself, the way your body makes energy, and how your body uses energy. Like what are the fuel sources that that it needs to make energy. And of course, it ages you from the inside out. And it comes to a point that sometimes your physical age, right, which is like your physical age, both inside and out, the way you look, the way you feel, can actually be older than your biological age, the age that you see
So
on
we're
your...
biologically 53, but we're physically some other age.
Exactly. We're physically, from the last time we checked, in, low 40, and you was actually in your 30s, which is ridiculous. She's always beating me.
Damn hard.
But turning back in, we're turning 53 tomorrow, right?
Yeah, so for us to stay young, we do something that most people would not do. And that's where we kind of make sure that we get to where we want to go. And so we cleanse. It is a trendy term. You have heard of it. You have all these different ways of cleansing teas, cleansing juices, cleansing packages, cleansing facilities.
Yes.
It's a trendy thing. But all it means is that for us, it just means that for 5 days, we stop eating and we stop putting bad stuff into our bodies. And it gives it time to get rid of the bad, damaged, and old cells and allow our body to heal and make new cells. And all we have to do is just, in the 5 days is strictly water.
And this is great, right? This gives us, the ability for our body to just remove all these bad and damaged and old cells. And these old cells, if you keep it festering and they don't die, guess what? They can develop into cancer cells. So we definitely want to get those out of our body. And the beauty of doing 5 days is it starts stimulating the production of stem cells, which can actually start leading to heal your body and, of course, make us look younger from the inside out. And we normally do this twice a year. We haven't done it for the last 2 years since we got into Texas, right? So this is our first time back. We're turning 53 tomorrow. We want to make sure we're jumping right in to be as young as possible. And, having healthy production of stem cells is really the most important and effective way for you to stay chronically healthy and get ahead of any potential health problems, right? And, if you really want to create new stem cells and you think that doing a 5-day water fast just sounds too hard to do, make sure you pay attention to our next video coming up. After this short break, we'll be giving you a quick biohacking tip.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave. LifeWave X39. the world's first product ever to activate stem cells, a true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. Look what people are saying about LifeWave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body. How you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39.
Hi, this is Minna from Chronically Healthy Life. So in this episode, I'm going to show you how to make coconut yogurt at home. And I like coconuts. I like coconut juice, coconut milk, coconut oil, MCTs, coconut meat, you name it. I love the whole coconut. And one of the things that we bought before is coconut yogurt. So we had store-bought yogurt from before. And that's actually how you started. Now, store-bought yogurt is kind of expensive. So we decided to make our own, which is a little bit more controllable and a little more affordable. So the way to start it is that you need 2 cans of organic coconut milk and put these in the fridge overnight so that the fat kind of stays on top and the juice stays on the bottom. So the way you start it is you want to have some type of leftover coconut yogurt from before. If you don't, you want to bump up your probiotics a little bit. But we have about 1 cup of coconut yogurt that we had from before. So just make sure that you leave the last cup of yogurt to remake the next batch of yogurt. So put that in. And then you put in the fat part of the coconut milk. So just scoop it in. And don't put in the water part. Use good coconut juice. Very fat. And by putting in the fridge, you actually get more solid. So you will get more of the solid part out of it and make more yogurt. Do that with the other can. Okay. And save the water in a can because you might want to use that later. So all you have to do is mix this up and use 2 packs of probiotics. So these are the probiotics that we normally use. Just use 2 packs of these and pour it in. And this is what gives yogurt the flavor that it has, and it gives you the healthy probiotics that you want to have. So all you have to do is mix this up really well. When you're done, cover it in a cheesecloth and kind of use a band-aid or something to secure it, and leave it in like a oven or something. Don't turn it on. Just leave it in a warm, dark place for about 1 to 2 days, and you can taste it to see how the little sour yogurt taste that you get. Once you see the taste that you get, then you can take it out and start using it. Just put back in the fridge. Cool it down so you can start eating it. Or if you think it's too thick, you can add some of this
coconut water that you saved from before and thin it out a little bit if you think it's too thick. I like it thick, so I tend to not use the water. I just tend to just drink it and be done with it. So that's it. Things that I make is always very simple. This is coconut yogurt, and it's really simple to make. I'll see you next time.
Welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. We're excited to have Andrea Luzon. She's going to be on the show just a little later today. But let's first talk about your life. And as success coaches, the first and most important thing that we have to discuss with our clients is that we should be taking 100% responsibility for our own life and our own results. And this is actually one of the very first principles from Jack Canfield's Success Principles. And it is the one that everyone must first understand and digest before going through the rest of their own personal development journey. And, I think that most people, they all experience some type of trauma. Maybe you had a troubled childhood. Maybe, you have trouble with your coaches or your parents. I personally, I suffered a traumatic car accident that literally left my body completely broken. And in some way, we all have some type of disadvantage or misfortune or trauma or maybe even abuse and, something bad that's happened to us in the past. And, and while you're not responsible for some of these unfortunate events that has happened to you in your life, you are 100% responsible for how your life turns out. I know this may sound like a very difficult concept at first, but trust me, once you have truly absorbed this lesson and understand how it can impact your life, it is the most powerful thing that's going to completely change the outcome of everything that happens around you.
So the other day we were watching TV. We did watch TV. And one of the ideas that came across was the idea of a kintsugi, which is the Japanese art of putting broken pottery pieces back together by gold, as you can see in the picture. Now, this is built on the idea that is embracing flaws and imperfections. And you can create an even stronger, a more beautiful piece of art. Kintsugi teaches us about accepting fragility, rebuilding strength and resilience, and taking pride in the imperfect. Now, things can and they do fall apart on all of us. And of course, we know that uninvited challenges and mistakes are how we grow, how we learn and change. But the truth still doesn't make them any easier. So the art of embracing imperfection is really important in your personal development and in how you gain your chronic health.
I totally agree. And it really very simply comes down to an equation that is E plus R equals O. So all that really means is E, which stands for event, R is your response. How do you respond to the event? And of course, O is your outcome. What happens after you make that response? And the thing that we need to stop doing is stop blaming the event, right? Your response is where you have the power of the outcome. Don't give away this power to others because you don't have the ability to change the event, right? So let's, for instance, talk about the biggest event that no one wants to talk about that has happened over the last 3 years, right? And of course, that's the pandemic, COVID, vaccines, and how everyone is getting sick or maybe just passing away unexpectedly. We have our own beliefs and, we're definitely not going to share on it. We're not going to talk about this on the show. But the reality is these events are happening and there are a lot of, of he says, she says, of why things are happening. And this is really what I mean when it comes to E plus R equals O. People are getting sick, people are dying. But if you follow mainstream media, you may believe one story over another of what's causing it. And now the outcome is, you're afraid to go out. You're afraid you can get sick and you're afraid you're going to be one of those that's going to get sick. You have basically given your power away to someone else. That response is not your own and you have no control of the outcome. So what do you think about that?
That is really true. I mean, it's when you give away your control, you actually lost your life basically, right? Because when you don't have control of your life, you let someone else take control of it, you are really just giving away your hope, you're giving away your goals, you're just giving away your life.
Exactly. And, let's talk about people getting sick all the time. Everyone is, the fact is there's viruses around us all the time. People's been getting sick for centuries, thousands of years. These viruses aren't going away. But rather than using the response, well, my kids go to school, they're bringing all these cooties home, or I went to this big party and some dumb person, I was going to say something else, didn't take care of their health and made everyone else they're sick. Or maybe, you may think, well, I'm overweight, I have chronic problems, that's going to make me more likely to get killed or get sick. And the one, I hate most hearing is that, oh, my immune system is sort of bad because I haven't been going out for the last 3 years. So, this is crazy. If you start thinking those thoughts, guess what? You're going to get sick because that's what's going to affect your outcome.
But you can actually change your response, right? This is that whole equals R equals O. You change your response, you change your outcome. You cannot control the event. Like I said, virus been around probably before humans are here around.
Exactly.
And unless you have a bubble suit, you will be exposed. So what can you do about it? You see, something like immune system is something you can control. Rather than blaming someone giving you the cooties or complaining about everything and try and justify or defend, make a bunch of excuses. See, none of those things will change your outcome. Only you can set it right. So what if you change your response to, I'm going to do something that makes me healthy. I'm going to do something that boosts my immune system. So no matter what viruses is out there, I can handle it. My body can fight it off. I don't need to worry about it, right?
I agree. And that's why we're going to be doing a 5-day detox. But, to be clear, it's happening the day after our birthday. We're doing it on April 2nd, not April 1st. We're going to feast on April 1st. But that's what we're going to do to clean our body to look and feel younger. Coming right up, Kristen's going to be talking to our special guest, Andrea Luzon, the Legacy Liberator.
Hi, everyone. This is Christy Boyd Johnson, the co-founder and CEO of the Barefoot Learning Club. We know that school can be a little scary these days. Between all the pretty horrifying stuff that's going on with bullying and shootings and whatever else is going on, our kids are having to endure this. And it results in a very rough situation. So we know a lot of parents want to homeschool, and that's why we're here. We're here to give you full support in homeschooling your children, making sure they get the foundational skills of reading, writing, and math in place so that they can literally do whatever they want. They can learn anything and do it with less stress, less time, and a lot more fun. And the best part is the results. You'll be amazed at the results that we get. So we would like to invite you to have it. If you want to talk to me personally, if you go to our website, barefootlearningclub.com, there's a Talk to Christy button. Just click it and it goes right to my calendar. Schedule a talk with me. It's a half an hour conversation and I can answer your questions and you can talk to me in person and I can talk to you in person and we can see if this is a good fit for you. I'm hoping it is. It's a new and different paradigm from anything you've seen before, but I think it's much better. All right, ciao for now. Welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. Parenting is the absolute most challenging job that there is out there. And especially for those of us who have a neurodivergent child with something like, say, ADHD. So today we are talking to the fabulous Andrea Luzon, who is a trauma recovered mom. And we're going to talk about how to shift from being reactive to being response-able. I love that. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you, Christy, so much for having me. I hope you can hear me okay. Let me know if I need to turn up any dials.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. I feel very blessed to have really narrowed down my purpose in life, which is to work with moms who are going through what I've been through as a parent of a neurodivergent child. And for anyone who doesn't have that term down, that is the neurology of the brain and being diverse than what is considered neurotypical. So often that's ADHD or ODD, autism, borderline personality disorder. It can really run along those lines, and that I really feel for the parent who has that in their household. And it could be the mom herself, it could be the father, it could be one of the children, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's a friend. But I really feel like I'm called to coach myself through how to navigate those waters and then stand for other people gaining those skills as well.
That is so important. You know, it starts with us and then we can put it out there. That's how I feel as a teacher. That I agree. You know, I love you. I love that you call yourself the Love Legacy Liberator. What does it mean when you say liberate your love legacy? That's just so interesting.
Thank you for asking. I feel as though your love legacy is the unique imprint that you make, just you, on hearts and minds through your unique presence, words, and deeds. So your imprint or your love legacy, it really starts inside of you, and then it oozes out. It oozes, that's my techie word. It oozes into all of your relationships and all the situations in your life, because it's the way you're imprinting on yourself first, and then it just reverberates everywhere. It just shows up in all your relationships, and it mirrors it's like your inner world is mirroring itself in your outer experiences.
That is so true. I mean, just take, like, for example, the simple little thing of going into the grocery store. And if I've had this experience where the checker was scowling and I've intentionally tried to be nice. Like, how's your day going? How are you doing? Are you doing okay today? And the shock of, wait, someone is being nice to me. It's kind of sad that, you know, it takes that to.
Right. And holding someone's eye contact, you know, like saying thank you and then not looking down, you know, or saying hi to someone when you're on a walk in the morning. I find in the mornings, people are more willing to say good morning. Any other time of day, we seem more introverted, most humans. But yeah, there's just that's such a good point. Like the grocery store is a great example. Just those of us that interact, it's like we're creating a whole new vibration in that person's experience, in our experience, versus when we mutter or stay on our phones and we're just looking at our phones the whole time. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think that for modeling that for our children is extremely important, because they learn from us, whether mostly parents, but also teachers. They learn that from us. So it just filters out there. I love that. It's a whole new vibration.
Yeah. So liberating that is just it. That's the deeper work. It's different for each individual. Like my background is spiritual psychology, soul-centered living, shadow work, transformational leadership, and energy healing. But that doesn't mean that every single skill that I've learned in all of those modalities is what I'm going to apply if you and I work together. Maybe there's more to in each of those veins that feel really good for you, and that I intuitively know are going to help you unlock whatever is your awakening journey, so that you stop exacerbating the relationship that you have with your child.
Yeah, you know, that's critical. I talk a lot with a very good friend of mine about shifting to being responsive rather than reactive with her. And I think that's kind of, is there a way to sort of gauge? Do you recommend maybe some questions we can ask ourselves to kind of gauge where we are with that?
Yes. For me, first, initially, it's about finding your core values. Like, what do I feel? So a lot of it is deeper. It really starts very deep, of like what really matters to me the most. Sometimes that's going to show that you're giving a lot of your power away and that you're choosing values that are totally outward facing and not at all like tuning into yourself. So it's really deeper. But once we do land on those core values and what really matters to, I'm going to use you, what really matters to Christy in her self-expression in this lifetime, and, you know, outside of all the programming that you grew up with, outside of all the mind drama, outside of all the giving the power away, we really get to the values. Then you get to ask yourself as you approach each situation in your life, is what I'm about to do amplifying or detracting from me being XYZ, whatever that value is? I worked with someone today and the first value was freedom. So it was interesting. I was like, if I choose to date, you know, should I choose to date this person? Is that going to amplify the feeling I have of freedom in my life? Or is that detracting from the feeling I have of freedom in my life? And so so we got to get really still, very quiet, and really sit with, do I feel a positive or a negative around the concept of me feeling free if I choose to go into this relationship? If I say yes to this relationship, where do I feel more free, or do I feel like,
yes.
So, yeah,
That's yes. And that is so valuable. I mean, you can literally use that kind of messaging within yourself and clarity to get answers to pretty much any question or making a decision. Like, is this whatever the core values are? Mine, the first one that popped in my head for me was peacefulness. I've lived through abusive childhood and abusive marriage, and peacefulness is for me paramount. I just don't want that. I want drama on the stage and on the page, but not in my life.
I hear you.
And so when I'm deciding something like that, it's like, is this friendship? Maybe it's run its course because it's just all this drama now all of a sudden that it feels icky. So I love that. That's an amazing. And with our children, that's huge, because I mean, if anybody can push buttons, it's our kids.
It's so true. As a mother of, I have twins. I have a neurotypical twin, or, you know, textbook neurotypical twin, and I have a textbook neurodivergent twin. And so, my goodness, it has been such a journey of like, who am I? What really matters to me? Am I showing up in those values as I interact with each of these very unique children? And am I in alignment with who I really am? You know, with those values, am I answering my child from my values, or am I answering my child from my coping mechanisms that I might have learned as a child growing up? You know, am I in the trigger, or am I in the being present and being in my values?
That's just like the old adage of, I've turned into my mother and I'm screaming at the kids the way my mother screamed at me. And that's exactly what you're saying, is shifting out of that. Yeah. And saying, wait, that's a trigger.
Yeah.
How can this be more positive, uplifting, but, you know, peaceful, everything for everybody concerned? Yeah. You know, it's just not just parents, but teachers. Every teacher should go through this kind of training.
Yes, I agree. I almost, like, there was a time when I was really kind of kooky in my life, and I said, you know, before there should be some kind of rule or law, or, I mean, it's a bonkers idea, but wouldn't it be amazing if people had a parenting course before they even thought about, you know, when they were thinking about creating a family? What if there was like a year-long, you know, this is what happens to children if you aren't paying attention, or if you are fighting all the time with your spouse, or, you know, just it's something that would really go deep into what is the child's life like. Maybe it would be more of a self-healing journey. Work with me and then decide to have kids.
pre having children course. Yes.
Exactly, because you get to come home to you. For me, it was, well, we could go 20 more minutes and just talk about my journey. But really, it was the having children, and then it was like age 4 or 5 that I really hit the I had given all my power away, dissatisfied in job, not showing up fully in relationship, overwhelmed as mom, and all of that really came tumbling down. So for me, I had to hit the ground, like I had to hit the bottom to decide, like I need help. I need support. I need to deal with like whatever's going on here so that I can be actually in my relationships instead of like it. And the topic of today, instead of reacting, how can I respond from my values instead of being so reactive? Yeah.
So important. And that's true of any relationship. It opens the doors of communication rather than yelling at each other and trying to shove your point of view on someone else who's also being reactive. Just coming at it from a communication and taking full responsibility for how you feel and them too. That can just create amazing, wonderful relationships. I can see that happening. That's amazing. So is like, I think for me, one of the first things I did as I went on my healing journey is I judged myself a lot. Like, God, Chris, you're so dumb. Why did you do that again? And came out of that into, I'm on my journey too. And this is good. And I'm going to now look at this as, how can I heal here? So is judgment, do you find judgment is something people have to work on with?
Huge.
Both at other people and at ourselves?
Huge. I really support people in shifting from saying like inner critic to shifting and kind of witnessing. It's really more of an inner protector, like that deep baritone or whatever the voice is of the judge in your brain or in your body. Typically, it's a voice of someone from your past. It just became your voice. So there's that whole piece. But then there's really that there are just so many parts of you that are wanting to keep you safe from experiencing the hardship that you might have experienced in the past. And when I say hardship, I mean, some people take the word trauma and they think it has to mean like physical or sexual abuse. And those of us who have been in this field for quite a while realize that trauma is really just having a need that wasn't met at some point along the lines. And then when that need wasn't met, something inside of you made up a story that you were not as valuable. Typically, it's totally related to how valuable you think you are, but it's based on you looked around your environment and you found evidence, and then you came to a conclusion, your inner protector came to a conclusion that you're not as valuable. And then we kind of go through life from that point, just looking for evidence to prove that we're right, that we're not so valuable. And then we really start like going on the offensive, or we run away and avoid, and we give our power to this person and that person and this situation and that job and those kids. And then all of a sudden we look at our life at some point and we realize, oh my gosh, I really feel like a puppet on strings. I really feel like a zombie. I really feel completely detached, or I feel totally overreactive. Like I feel like I'm just on the defense all the time, or I feel like nothing. I've gotten so numb, or I'm numbing myself in so many ways. So it's really about being able to see that inner critic, the judge, as an aspect of you that's wanting to protect you from getting hurt again. And then everything starts to turn and change from that point once you're able to see it differently.
That's so important. Do you have a simple series of questions people can kind of go through to take a breath and work through the questions to help them recenter?
Yes. Number one is awareness. So for a lot of us, if any of you have ever listened to Dr. Joe Dispenza, I highly recommend it. He's the one who's popping into my mind, although this research is so much older than his sharing. But the responses are usually so built into us physically that we tend to cry at the drop of a hat or fight instantly or run away, or we have the fight, flight, freeze, appease response, and they're so physical that our brain doesn't even come online. It's just like so fast. So it's like 60 seconds or less that the reactivity is happening. So what we get to do is we get to lengthen the time between what's happening, which is often referred to as a trigger, and then the reaction. So right now they feel pasted on top of each other. So to lengthen the time, what you want to do is first go back to a moment that you're a little bit embarrassed about, or that you have some shame around, or that you feel guilty about. So go back to that, and then start to notice the what was I feeling in my body? Like for me, my ears will get hot, and I'll get red here, like, so I can feel it's like heat. I feel heat, and then sometimes my brain gets like very buzzy, like this is like I can. And so my invitation to myself is like, oh, my kid is having a meltdown, and I'm starting to feel the heat. I'm starting to feel the heat kick on. So step number 1 is feel what is happening in your body. First and foremost, you get to notice what is happening in your body. So go back to that and remember, like, oh, okay, well, if I look at all of these times, what was I noticing? Like, oh, I was clenching my hands, or I started grinding my teeth. So notice the signs. And then I like to go through the 5 senses. So I say, feel what's happening in your body, and then smell. So smell the air. And this is we're going to start bringing the brain back online. What do I smell right now? Okay, so my kid is starting I can feel the upset happening. I don't want to yell. I'm like resisting the urge to yell. What do I smell right now? What do I taste in my mouth? What do I feel like? What am I like rubbing my hands on my pants? Like, am I wearing a skirt? Is it denim? Is it satin? Is it like just feeling? So what do I see? What do I smell? What do I taste? What am I touching? What do I hear right now? And simply walking through the 5 senses brings the brain back into the situation. So you're not just like, you're not responding to the kid. You're feeling what's in your body. You're going through the 5 senses, even just one, even just like, what do I smell right now? That's enough to tell your brain like, oh, hello, I'm still here. And then you want to get curious. Okay. So if your brain is back online, now I can look at my son and I can say, oh, he's just really upset that, we want to go to the park, but he was playing with Legos. Okay. So he was really into the Legos. Okay. So that's maybe what's really going on here. It's not that he doesn't want to go to the park. It's not that he doesn't want to be with the family, but he was into this thing, and he's struggling with the transition to this thing, to the next thing.
Andrea, I could talk to you about this for hours. This topic has me enraptured, but we're running out of time, and I want to make sure we share that you have this wonderful free gift.
I do.
Tell us about the free gift you have for our viewers.
And actually, everyone who's watching, you can get this gift. It's a video course, and each video is only around 5 minutes. So it's really short. If you go to AndreaLuzon.com, and Luzon is Luzon, AndreaLuzon.com. If you just go up to the top and click free gift, it'll take you to the 10 ways page, and it's 10 ways to move beyond your old story. So it really helps you get underneath the stuff that might be the inner things that are, they have you reacting to the triggers instead of responding from your values. So that's
wonderful.
I'd love to see you all there.
I'm going to download it right now. Thank you so much for being here on our show today. I'm going to reach out to you later.
Thank you, Christy. It's been an honor. Thank you so much.
Hi there, I'm Andy.
And I'm Minna.
And we're the Foolish Couple. We created the TV program Chronically Healthy Life to give you tips and hints on how to get healthy and, of course, to live a vibrant life. But in reality, it takes more than an hour a week to really change your life around. We've been around doing this for many, many years now, doing health coaching and productivity training, and we really nailed it down to what it takes to be successful. Now, if you're sick, and you're tired of your current health situation and your current lifestyle, it takes about 30 to 90 days to really restart and renew your whole life. It takes 30 days to get your body back to a clean slate, like wiping the blackboard clean. We help you on a guided cleansing protocol. And then once you're clean, we give you a nourishing protocol for your body to heal itself. Now, our 90-day program, it takes it to the next level. We will help you reset your gut bacteria, improve your blood labs, strengthen your body and mind, regenerate your stem cells to promote healing, restoration, and rejuvenation, to turn back the hands of time, helping you implement lasting, healthier lifestyle changes.
And that's why we created the Chronically Healthy Life program to help you recreate your life. It takes daily practice and accountability to get you to reach your personal goals and to redesign your life. If you're looking to learn to live healthy, to get mental clarity, to improve your health, to boost your immune system, to strengthen your body, to increase your productivity, and to look and feel younger, 10 to 20 years younger than your age, and to feel energetic and vibrant again, then we invite you to join our Chronically Healthy Life program. You get to choose whether you want to do the 30 or the 90-day program. Both are designed to keep you on track to your goals, get you mentally and physically healthy, and to help you achieve a long, healthy, wealthy, and happy life. So check us out at www.focoacademy.com and sign up for our Chronically Healthy Life programs. Both programs have a 14-day risk-free guarantee, so if you don't like it, you get your money back. We are confident that you will love our program, so join us now at www.focoacademy.com.
Welcome back to Chronically Healthy Life. Now, normally in this segment, we interview a local business, and somewhere along the line, we just realized we are the local business. So I'm here to interview Andy. So this is Andy. He's in Houston. And so why don't you tell us, so let's go back a little bit. When you first told me that you want to be a functional nutritionist, I'm like, what's that? Why don't you tell our viewers what functional actually means?
Yeah, so a lot of people, when they hear nutritionist, they just gonna assume that I'm gonna be writing a meal plan for them. And the difference between a regular nutritionist and a functional nutritionist is we do a little deeper dive. We go into a little bit of your medical history. We'll look at your blood labs. We really try to figure out what are the underlying conditions that are causing your current symptoms.
And I know that you actually take it a little beyond a functional nutrition. You're also a biohacker.
Yes, and the biohacker side of it is where it comes in for why I call myself a longevity coach also, because there are so many things that your body can do that is so amazing, and it goes beyond just eating well and exercising, which I think is very, very important. But there are so many other ways that we can stimulate our body to regenerate stem cells, to have faster healing, to even slow down aging.
Yeah, because how we talk about the concept of viruses in earlier segment, the way you do things is not like I'm giving you a Tylenol for your headache. I'm giving you this for this. You are really teaching your body to address whatever it is that comes to you, right? Is that how it works?
Yes, and I think the biggest thing is I really like to help people filter out the noise, because there's just so much noise out there. There's XYZ diet, and there's I don't want to name any to get people in trouble, because to be honest, all diets work, but do they work for you? And that's where the problem arises, because everyone's about individual. So we're like per se, the keto diet may work for a certain person. It may not work for you just because of how your bowel makeup is, the trauma that your body has suffered over the years, or maybe how you're raised.
Good. So why don't you give the viewers one tip on, I know you do very strange things sometimes. Why don't you tell people how to shower?
Yes. So, one tip, and you think showering is something that technically you should be doing every day, right? You should be showering every day. But one of the best ways to stimulate your immune system and actually give you more energy, and this will also help you burn more fat after you shower, which is sort of cool. You think about it, you're showering, and then your body's going to burn fat after. And it's actually quite simple. First of all, I would suggest that you have a radio, your iPhone, or somewhere in the shower where you can listen to music, because this will make it infinitely easier when you have music. But when you're showering, what I suggest is, you have your hot, cold handle, and you basically have it on as hot as your body can bear, while you're showering, putting on the shampoo in your hair, or whatever. Have it on for about a minute so you can listen basically to half a song. And then when the song goes into chorus, you whip it over to full cold and you wait for the chorus to finish. So basically, you're going to be showering 1 minute as hot as you can, and then 1 minute as cold as you can. And as soon as that chorus is over, whoop, right back to full hot. And you're basically cycling hot and cold for your body to stimulate your body to, one, boost your energy for the rest of the day. So this is a great way to start your day. Who needs coffee when you're screaming in the shower? Minna hears me screaming in the shower every time I go to the cold water. But, it's a great way, you get your energy up. And then, of course, the cold stimulates your body to burn fat.
Yeah, so that's what it was about, right?
That's what it's all about.
So that's one great tip. I know that. How can people reach you?
I think the best way to reach us, this show was never really about what we do. It's really about sharing to other people how we can help the community, help others to connect with people that's going to work with them. Because at the end of the day, it really is about the bio individual. We're all very different. So the best way to reach us is focoacademy.com, right? That you can be able to see our blogs. It'll be a link to our Chronically Healthy Life show. And of course, you can schedule time to reach us. And, we have some programs on there. But we'll just love you. Just reach out, send us an email or text us. And, we would love to hear your comments about our show, right?
All right. Thank you, Andy, for joining us, show. We'll come right back.
Hello. We are Mutts and Meows Rescue, a 501c3 nonprofit, foster-based, no-kill group. Mutts and Meows Rescue pulls dogs and cats from surrounding shelters in the greater Houston area. We even pick up dogs and cats abandoned on the streets. Mutts and Meows Rescue is foster-based and rely on your donations to keep rescuing. To know more about us is to know more about our furry friends and help them find their forever homes. Come visit us at Mutts and Meows Rescue on Facebook today and decide how you can make a difference.
Welcome back to Chronically Healthy Life. Let's just wrap this up. We had a great show today with Andrea and Kristen. We talked about 100% responsibility for your life. Now we know that 100% may be a big leap for you. So why don't we start with baby steps? Start with 5%. How about that? You can start by asking yourself, if you were to take 5% more responsibility for your life and well-being, how would that look? If you were to take 5% more responsibility for attainment of your goals, how is that going to change your life? Or if you're going to take 5% more responsibility for the success of your relationships, how would your family relationship life look like?
And, remember, you always have a choice with how you respond. Remember, E plus R equals O. Change your response, change your life. Next week, we have Sabrina Protek, a financial coach, one of my closest friends. Come back here next Friday at 7 p.m. CST. We love to hear from you. You can give us your comments on our Facebook page, Chronically Healthy Life. Rewatch this episode on our website, chronicallyhealthylife.com, or our YouTube channel, or email us at anything@chronicallyhealthylife.com.
We'll see you next week.